Recently, we picked up this M7 for $1,000. Some of the mods and stuff that we found under the hood here, this might actually be an 800. Yeah, the M8 was not available at this time. You can get an M7 and an M6. And on this sled, with the fuel controller, with the pipes, and with the head, this sled actually might be an 800. So that's one thing we're going to have to do sometime. We're going to have to pop off that head and measure the cylinder bores so we can find out what exactly this engine is. Last episode, we got this machine running with minimal effort. So the whole reason that I was able to buy this sled and I got it so cheap is because the diamond drive on it is blowed up. If you've never heard of a diamond drive is a gearbox that these sleds had, and they had that instead of a chain case. So let's open up the gearbox on this thing and see what happened. I can already tell you what I think happened. This is my prediction.
So, gear case assembly here. Number 17, this bearing will go out, and then once this gear goes a little sideways, it'll take out the planetary gear and then just about everything else.
I worked on these things a lot when they came out. When I started as Arctic Cat mechanic, generally you see things 5 to 7 years old, and that's where this one fell.
I also know for fact that this brake caliper is seized shut. It's not returning. Yeah, if we're super lucky, we might be able to get off with just a seized caliper.
Okay, that's enough talk. Let's pop off that clutch, and let's get into that diamond drive, and let's see what happened.
Yep, belt is already off, so definitely we're in here. This is the first time we've been able to have a look at the secondary since we got the sled. Rollers are good and intact. Spring's not broken. Just needs a good clean. Doesn't look bad. Nothing looks too scuffed up or pitted. Oh, never mind. This is the 12 point. I don't have this puller. We got to order the puller for this. This is the diamond drive. You know that because it says in big letters right here. So diamond drive right behind the secondary. So normally on this side, you'd see a chain case, right? Well, all that's over here is just a brake caliper. So there was a fill plug here on these, and then the drain on this diamond drive is actually around the back. Let's drain the gear fluid and let's see what chunks of silver come out before we pop the cover open. Actually, that drain's too hard to reach. I'm just gonna pop it open and let it spill its guts everywhere. Okay, let's see if that bearing took out the planetary gear. I can't believe nothing came out of this gear case. Oh no! They ran it dry. Okay, so this is not a dry gear case. This should have puked out a whole bunch of oil with it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that out. All of this just should pop out. Okay, well, let's just try to take out the gearbox then. And there it is. Oh, that smells just awful. Okay, there's a giant snap ring here that goes around this entire bezel that holds everything together. So I'm going to see if I can pop that out, and hopefully we'll be able to get into this diamond drive a little bit further. Oh yeah, that sounds like a good set of gears. I don't think this is coming apart any further. What happened? So I thought it was actually going to be a bearing that sits inside right here that would have caused this whole failure, but the whole failure was just caused by either lack of maintenance or a leak or something like that to lose all our fluid. So that whole orbital gear assembly, planetary gear assembly is all in here, and you can't really see it, but you can hear it. These are all the remnants of the planetary gears sitting right here. Here's your planetary gear assembly. Put a new set of bearings and a new set of seals in it. We could reuse the case. But yeah, the diamond drive is exploded. And honestly, I don't really care. I don't need the diamond drive. Can just go over the parts here real quick. So there's the drain plug. This is the inside. The drivers slip right in there. Bearing here, seized up. Seal would replace that either way. Case half is good. Sensor is also good. Front case half would probably be fine. You could reuse these gears, but you know, you just wouldn't. There's actually a whole bunch of different parts in here seized together. The planetary gears, I guess you'd call this the pinion shaft that goes into the drivers. And then the pickup gear, the helical pickup gear here. And then this pickup gear, which hooks onto that, just like this. Usually this would slide right out, but that is all seized and wedged together, so nothing I can really do to get that out, and nor would I want to reuse it, so it really doesn't matter. So this is a relatively simple version of the Diamond Drive. There were Diamond Drives that had reverse actuators in them and stuff like that, so they get, you know, quite a bit more complex, where you have a shift fork sitting right here, and then the actuator off to the side, and that works your reverse, and that was before RER engines. So this is the most simple rudimentary version of this gear case, and they only get more complicated and beefed up from here, but luckily this isn't one with the shift forks or anything like that. Yeah, so all the parts, all the internals, and the end of a Diamond Drive. Basically, we've done 3/4 of the work to pull out the track and drivers when we're ready to do that. I should have dealt with this lock nut before taking out the Diamond Drive, but yeah, it doesn't really matter because this caliper's seized on anyway, so that'll make that getting this off easy to deal with. These can be a pain sometimes. I would say the way that gear case went probably wouldn't have caused a sudden hard lockup. Probably would have just ground to a halt. So everything looks okay from what I can see there. I went ahead and took off the exhaust again to have a better look at that engine head and better look at the cylinders. Like, I know this one looks scratched right here, and it looks worse on camera because I left a piece of stuff in there now. So that's like a scuff, because I can't even catch that with my nail. It could have possibly been rebuilt not too long before that gear case exploded. Let's have a look at the head, because I forgot to do that. I got all excited about spark and the shape of the engine that I forgot about the head entirely. What does that say? I'm not familiar with this brand. This was like right around the vintage of where I didn't really work on a lot of these. Like, I worked on a lot of M1000s and a lot of M8s, but the M7 was kind of the cutoff for me. I didn't work on a whole lot of them compared to the other two. Torque line head on it. Wow, as the cat guy, I'm actually not familiar with this. So I'll do a little bit more research on this head. I'll find out if it's a big bore or if it's a high compression or what the deal is. If I can't, then we'll pop open this and we will just measure the jugs and see what kind of measurements we get out of them. It's like right on the cutoff of when I stopped working on things. When they got a little bit too old, I was more working on the M8s and M1000s. So that means we are either going to be dealing with a 800 big bore or a 700 race motor, which either way is fucking cool. Okay, I just wanted to make a video of me blasting in that gear case because I don't think a lot of people have seen into Diamond Drives, and that Diamond Drive is like the simplest version of them. PSA, check your gear case or chain case fluid. Links down at the top of the comments, Facebook, Instagram, Discord. If you're a game guy, you can join up with your fellow backcountry gamers. It's just a community where we talk shop, hang out, and maybe play a game or two. That's it. Wrap it up there. Things get even worse for the $1,000 mod sled. Freaking cool, man. Freaking sweet. If you have an Exciter 2 or a PHAZER 2 sitting around your yard, I need it. But I will not give you a lot of money.